Hi, I would like to dedicate this video to a concept in economics that I really like, and that's called basic income. Well, you won't hear anything better from a socialist kind of Muslim philosopher. But you might ask, you claim to be a spiritualist or a medium or a psychic, and all we hear from you is math, physics, and economics. But the reason for all these introductions and all these little videos is is to establish a kind of legitimacy with my audience, whoever they might be, that my ideas are not outrageous and they're not crazy. And most important of all, I'm not crazy. But yeah, I want to establish legitimacy with you and to show you that I have a rational mind, and these ideas are in line with the ideas of other philosophers and other mystics or other spiritual leaders, and they are not insane, or they are not totally out of this world. Uh, I will have other videos that I will talk about my mediumistic experiences, and also some of the dreams that are I believe they have divine origins, but we need to make a rapport with each other, that the audience also has some faith, even a small amount of faith in my ideas and my teachings. Uh, the the other concept that I want to explore is that there was a poet that said that you can see the whole universe in a grain of sand, or in a small area. Well, when I was a kid, I had this magnifier, and I went around and looked into some puddle by the river, and I saw all these worms and little creatures crawling around and doing stuff in there, in just the area that a magnifier could look at. So what these ideas imply is that what happens to one individual is a microcosm, or is an example of what happens globally, what happens to every individual or every person, or what the trend is. So I am Sufi, and I look at things from here and try to generalize it to the outside world. And what happens to me is of importance because I study myself, and I study what happened economically, spiritually, psychically, and try to see how in a macro world that would mean, how would that shape things. The other reason I only look at my own self, because the inner world is a mirror that reflects the other world. Anyhow, there's a lot of theology. We'll get into that later on, but the reason I got into this idea is because the concept of basic income, it happens to some people in society today. It is not something that happens to everybody, but it happens. For example, I developed a disability because I lost my left eye due to disease and infection, and also diabetes, and there were many surgeries. So the government, or the social services, they got tired of me, and they gave me disability. Okay, so that is a form of basic income, because I get something less than 1,000, but that really had an impact on me, because it after it happened, I knew that I have certain income. No matter what happens, I have this income, and I could pay for my own artist flat and take care of the food and whatever. I have the medical disability too, so it kind of impacted me in a very strange way because I don't sit and worry about the very basic things. Before I used to, because I had to make sure I had a job. I had to make sure I had this unemployment benefits or other income coming in. That I don't have to do that now. So once I received this basic income, I uh, I lost a lot of chaos, a lot of worry in my life, and then I went on and looked at the kinds of work that I could do that would not be destructive or troublesome for me, and I could generate additional income for myself. That means I went back to my security guard job, and I might do Uber later on, if I get another better car. So what the what I can get from this whole episode is that uh, once you get a basic income, then you will stop doing work that's unstable, and you will do work that it interests you and you want to do that kind of work. And yeah, also when I got my basic income, I went back and tried to get gigs as an actor and many other things that were formerly of interest to me that I thought maybe or later on when I retire I could do that. But now that I have a basic income, I can go and do those things, and it also helps you relax and deal with the stuff because you're now in a better position. You have an income and you can negotiate many things in a better negotiating position than before. Uh, well, the idea sounds pretty good, but if the government wanted to implement this on in a national scale, the first thing that would pop into your mind is that this is stupid. You can't do this for everybody. But that's not. It's not a stupid idea. It's a very good idea. Okay, and let me add you this to you that if you heard this idea from me and you didn't hear it from anywhere else, this is the original idea, and you need to mention my name as a professional courtesy, okay? Because this is an original artist or an original economist idea, okay? Say, for example, the U.S. government decided to implement basic income for 300 million people, okay? That's a lot of people, right? Okay, and give them $1,000 a month each. Right, that's a nice little income. Okay, but 300 million multiplied by 1,000 is adding three zeros to 300 million, and you end up with what? $300 billion. Okay, but that in comparison to the budget and the kind of money that we squander in foreign countries, the kinds of monies that we dedicate to warfare and militarism and developing weapons is minuscule. We spend at least $2 trillion on weapons and defense, what I would call the offense, you know. But there are ways to get this money. This money is not impossible to get, and it will resolve many contradictions and problems in society, because a lot of the old economy is dying. There is no more of a lot of companies. Their business model is old and it doesn't work anymore. Okay, you cannot just simply get up and go get a job in a corporation XYZ, as the corporation XYZ was built like 30 years ago, the way they make money doesn't work anymore. Okay, and they are on the way out. I think you have a clue to this. Okay, but once this idea comes in, this practice comes in, it will restore purchasing power to the masses of nobodies, and this money will uh, filter in or seep in into the greatest society. It will seep into retail. It will seep into real estate. It will seep into you know food. Food or grocery stores. I mean, we need to put money back into the old economy, and the old economy now is nothing but the more than a collection of these little nobodies, little guys. Okay, I think you get my point. Uh, there, there are other ways of getting these monies, and in comparison to the financial folly and mismanagement and misallocation of capital that's going on, this money, $300 billion or even $500 billion, is not a lot of money. You have to see things in perspective in comparison to other things the government is doing. One way of getting this kind of money without changing the structure of the budget or anything else is put a nice little tax on financial transactions and derivatives, because right now the way a lot of industries are, is very difficult to make more than a 1% or 2% return on investment. Okay, uh, you would be better off to buy US treasuries. They pay 2-3%. Okay, if you went and opened up a grocery store or opened up a factory, you might not even get that 2-3% or lose money because somebody else did better and cheaper due to automation or artificial intelligence. So the only thing that the bourgeoisie are doing to make fantastic sums of money is two things: either they are gambling through derivatives or stock market transactions, or they are buying up politicians and have them give them quantitative easing, or do fraudulent things, like manipulating the forex or other markets. So this is not an outrageous idea. If they plan to continue their fraudulent activities and nobody can stop them, it would be good to at least put a tax on their behavior, and not only to slow them down, but also to have the people have access to money. The other idea is that when a technology becomes available, like email or internet itself, and it's cheap or very free, companies gradually will drop their retail prices on them, and it will seep into the rest of the population. Like, I have a fantastic email service. I don't pay crap for it. I don't pay nothing. I get all these apps and all these things I can do on Google or other services, for zero. So if the prices of commodities and services and apps and software is dropping to near zero, okay, why do you think that the price of the availability of money to anybody should be fantastic or difficult to get? Why don't you think that the price of money should drop to zero too? Like the government just hands it to you as basic income. They squander tremendous amount of money for all this other crap. They might as well hand some of it over so we can do other things with it. The other good thing about basic income is that when you have a basic income, you are in a negotiating position. Like you are not desperate anymore. You don't have to get loans or anything. You can just negotiate. You can negotiate the cheapest rent. You can negotiate the cheapest price for the services, and only industries will grow that the people want that industry to grow, not what's shoved down their throat because they have no other choice. Okay, for example, industries that have to do with entertainment, with spiritual pursuit, intellectual pursuits, the ones higher on the Maslow hierarchy will prosper, and the society will gradually become more enlightened society rather than a society that's tied to modes of production, tied to this company or that company. Uh, I think you get my point. Anyhow, uh, let's move on to some other concept. Is that when you have a basic income, you can relax and not look for work that you care about, you want to do it, and this will also improve stuff people do that are artistic or spiritual. uh, it might also help many people do volunteer work, but I think that the volunteer work that's not paid is a form of hidden slavery that should be banned, but that's a subject for another discussion. uh, Thank you very much for being in my YouTube video. I will talk about some of these more exotic ideas, and I will also put out videos that have to do with my spiritual experiences. But I do want to establish a datum, a basic understanding that for my audience not to revolt and think that these ideas are completely crazy. Thank you very much.